Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about the top 12 NFL wide receiver duos heading into 2025. This on another episode of So number 12, we have Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the reason they're here at 12 is because they're both very young, and I think they can both grow a lot. I think both of these receivers have a long way to go in the NFL. And while they both are very talented, we've seen that on the field, they could be better. And Patrick Mahomes will eventually get them there. But for now, they're still too young to be considered anywhere near the top 10 or 5 duos in the league. So at number 11, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams. Now, while Amon-Ra is one of the best receivers in the league by himself, I think for the Lions, his skill level is brought down by his partner in this video. And so that's why he's here at 11. I think he's very skilled, he's elite, a great talent. I think Jameson Williams is not nearly as good as some of the other second parts of the duos on this list. I think while he's a very talented receiver, he's not to the point yet where he can truly be elite. So number 10, we have Nico Collins and Tank Dell for the Houston Texans. So they've been an interesting pairing with CJ Stroud over the past few years. And honestly, I think they're quite good. But Dell's been very injury prone, so he hasn't seen the field as much as people would like. And Nico Collins is aging. So that's why I think they're not as good of a duo as some of the other duos on this list. But they're still top 10. I think they provide CJ Stroud a nice pairing of different abilities, with Collins and Dell providing different skill sets and expertises when it comes to playing the receiver position. And I think they complement each other very nicely. So number 9, we have Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel. Now, I feel like I know there might be a few Commanders fans out there that might be a little mad about this, but Terry McLaurin is a talented, very talented wide receiver. And Deebo Samuel is also very talented. But I think in the sense of them working as a duo, there's still a little bit to wonder about how well they'll work together. Deebo Samuel, of course, once Brandon Ayuk became a thing in the 49ers, his impact slowly decreased. And Terry McLaurin, at least in recent memory, has not had a true number 2 option. So there's wonder how well they'll work together as a duo, how much they'll eat into each other's production. So number 8, we have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Now, honestly, Tyreek Hill's still going to be a great wide receiver. It's really, for these two, can Tua stay healthy enough to actually give them production. And if he can, they're very electric. Now, Waddle, his skills are good, but they aren't elite. I think the only reason they're this high as a pairing is because Tyreek Hill pulls Waddle ahead by that much with his own skills. He's really fast. Everyone knows this. His nickname's literally the Cheetah. I don't think we need to go over why Tyreek Hill is an amazing receiver. With that being said, I feel like Waddle, this is another pairing where the second part of the pairing pulls down a really elite wide receiver. So number 7, we have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, A.J. Brown is a great wide receiver one. He catches a lot of great balls, and so does Devontae Smith. And Devontae Smith is very good in those clutch situations where you need a receiver to go get something. But again, they're a part of an offense where passing isn't necessarily the thing that the offense is built around, and that limits how effective they will be on influencing how the outcomes of games. So number 6, we have a new pairing that's never been seen before in DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Now, Metcalf, he had a down year in 2024. I mean, he got surpassed by Jackson Smith and Jigba, and George Pickens was the only receiver on the Pittsburgh Steelers that's worthy of note in 2024. So putting them together is quite an interesting experiment, but I think it'll be a good one, because They're both home run threats. They both are very explosive, and they both really care about the game. Now, you might say, well, they sort of do the same thing. That might be an issue. But I don't think that is an issue if the Steelers scheme it well. I think both of these players are very explosive. They can complement each other well, and defenses will have a hard time figuring out who to guard when they're both running down the field. And it'll be a good pairing, I think, in that sense. I think one of them will always draw more attention on each play, and then the other will likely either be one-on-one or open, and that will benefit the Steelers greatly. And number 5, we have another new pairing in Cooper Kupp and Jackson Smith-Njigba for the Seattle Seahawks. And I think this pairing is going to be great. Njigba has already proven himself to be a true wide receiver one in Seattle, and with Sam Darnold there now as the quarterback, I think he provides a great baseline of what Sam Darnold can expect as in terms of receiving quality. And Cooper Kupp is a great receiver in his own right. He's getting older, he might be regressing, but as of right now, he's still going to be one of the better duos in the NFL in 2025. And the best part for the Seahawks is both of these receivers know how to be part of a duo already. At number 4, we have one of my favorite duos to watch in the NFL, outside of my own teams. And that is Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Now, Evans and Godwin both had down years in 2024. Evans, of course, and Godwin both got hurt, but Evans still got his 1,000-yard season, so that's a good thing for him. But when they're both healthy, they provide a nice, unique blend of working together and spreading the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Godwin and Evans both, while not being maybe the most elite wide receivers in the league, they're both above average and they work that well together. They've had that many seasons to mesh that they both know how to provide their quarterback with the best possible combination of routes and getting open. At number 3, we have Puka Nacua and Davante Adams. Now, Puka, he already has been a part of a duo, so for like literally his entire career so far, and that was with Cooper Kupp. So he's already proven he can be a part of a duo. And Davante Adams, he's had experience in duos. He's not had the most, but last year when he was with the Jets, when he decided he would go back, well, not when he decided, but when he was reunited with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, he was part of a duo there with Garrett Wilson. And I think both of these players are that elite. I mean, Puka Nacua is a young star, and he's only getting better every season. And Davante Adams, while being on the older side, is still putting up 1,000-yard seasons. And I think as a combo, they work well together. At number 2, we have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. And honestly, these two for the Minnesota Vikings with Sam Darnold were quite the treat. The reason they're not at 1, even though I think they are very good, is because there's one pairing that I think is better. Another reason is because they just went from Sam Darnold at quarterback to J.J. McCarthy, and we don't know if J.J.'s him yet. J.J.'s not stepped foot on the field in a regular NFL game. And until we know that, these two, while being super talented, no one denies that, they're a treat to watch. They complement each other well, and one of them is usually open. The question is now, do the Vikings have a quarterback that can take advantage of their unique skills? And we will have to see that in 2025. At number 1, we have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They're the highest paid pairing of wide receivers in football. They're with Joe Burrow. And you can't get any better than that. These two are both wide receiver ones on any team, and you can't deny it. They are that good. Both of them are electric. They complement each other well. They've allowed Joe Burrow to put up insane numbers, and they've single-handedly doomed the Bengals to having a terrible defense for the next how many years because they've eaten up all the cap space. But defense doesn't matter for this video. It's just about how good they are in offense. And if you want 2 great wide receivers to run your offense with, you can't do any better than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. With that being said, guys, please like, share, subscribe down below, and comment what you think. Who do you like where I put? Did I put anyone too high? Did I put anyone too low? Please let me know. And see you next time.